Hi everybody, it's Erik and time for a video conversation. Aside from visiting schools and visiting companies as I usually do, I also had the honor of hosting a reception for our military academy appointees at West Point, the U.S. Naval Academy, and at the Air Force Academy. 15 students, our best and our brightest from Minnesota, that will go on to become leaders not only in our military institutions, but at future opportunities to lead our country as well. I received some really good questions this week. Actually, the first up is an email from Adam in Eden Prairie. Adam says, "Dear Congressman Paulson, as an employee of a national research laboratory, I have worked with many foreign nationals who obtained PhD degrees from U.S. institutions but had to leave due to difficulties in obtaining permanent residency. I believe we have an obligation to retain such talented researchers in our country to improve our economy and hold our position as the world leader in scientific and technological innovation. Thank you, Adam." Adam, I agree with your comments. There's no doubt that our immigration system is broken. It's harming our economy. It's locking out the next generation of innovators. That area has probably been no more true than high-skilled labor in where our needs are. And it's been a problem for a lot of folks that have come to the United States, get trained here, educated here in the STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, math. But then we kick them out of the country. They usually go back to their home countries and they create a competitive company that competes directly with America. It makes no sense to train them here, educate them here, and then kick them out. I did just introduce bipartisan legislation last week called the Staple Act. It will ensure that if someone gets an advanced degree in a STEM field, they can stay here, they can be productive here, and they can hire more American workers at future companies that they have here. It probably is drilled to me especially clear when I met with Mark, someone who runs a company here right also in Eden Prairie, who started a company and says basically, if I don't have the scientists, if I don't have the mathematicians or the skills needed, I won't be able to keep my company up and running. That hurts all the other jobs in the field, and I have to move closer to where that labor is offshore. So it doesn't make sense. So hopefully my bill will move forward and get a hearing. We're going to move on to our next email, who comes in from Jennifer and Rogers, who writes in, "Representative Paulson, it seems like every time you turn the news on, they're talking about another company or government agency that has been hacked. These events can expose thousands of Americans' personal and financial information to hackers. We need to take a serious look at how we can stop these kind of activities in the future that put Americans at risk. Please do something to aid in this effort. Sincerely, Jennifer." Jennifer, thanks for highlighting this, and you're absolutely correct. There has been a dramatic rise in security breaches that have happened both in the public and in the private sectors. I think it's estimated that by about 2019, the annual cost and global financial impact is something around $2 trillion to cybersecurity threats. Thankfully, one important step that should be taken is making sure we have the appropriate training available. We have the appropriate resources available for local and national law enforcement that they can target cyber theft and hackers. We did just pass legislation bipartisanly that makes sure that we now create the National Computer Forensics Institute at the Department of Homeland Security to help accomplish this goal, because equipping our local law enforcement with the best training and the best knowledge will help us identify those threats in the future. Thanks everyone for joining this week. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Continue to reach out anytime on Facebook, Twitter, on Instagram, or of course the website at paulson.house.gov.